Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me again today. Want to take you through the setup, the doing, the finishing of an altered book. Decided this would be a new series, but I want to do an altered book with a difference. So normally when you decide you're going to do an altered book, and we look up all our channels to see how to do it and how to remember to do it. So this is one that's on the go. It's been on the go for a couple of years. I keep pulling it out every now and again and not getting much further. I started by doing altered books. So many years ago, you know. And that's how I started, and it gave me the confidence to then go on to creating my own signatures, doing my own covers from start to finish, whether I use books or whether I create them from chipboard and things like that. I find that they're a great beginner's way to get into the world of journaling because part of the work is already done for you. But this one's a little bit different, and I would say a little bit easier as well. So normally with an altered book, what you do is you find your book that you want to use, whatever. I quite often like using Reader's Digest for altered books. They give a nice solid cover that I can then cover and, do all sorts of things. But we'll go through our covers during this as well. And then what you do, if you look up here, is you take out so many pages. So you keep a page, you take out usually around 7. You keep a page, then you keep another page, and then you take out about 7. So what will happen is that you will glue, and I think these unfortunately have all been glued together now. You will glue, oh, hang on, let's just grab a book, and I'm not going to tear these out. So here's a book. So let's say you keep a page, you tear out 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You keep a page. Where those 7 have been taken out, you glue that page to that page. Okay, and it makes a page, or you'll just do it like so with your glue so that it makes a pocket, or it makes a side pocket depending on how you're going to glue it, or you can just glue them together like I've done here to make solid pages. Okay, because I found early on, let's just see if I've got any in this one still. I doubt it. I found early on that if I created full tucks, etc., in my altered books, my journaling cards or my bookmarks and my tags were all too big. So from there I went into just gluing my pages together so that I could then create pockets and tucks and bits and pieces, still with my flip outs, to the actual pages without having to worry about having massive journal cards or anything else. That was just how I went down the road to it. There's many different ways to do it, but I want to show you another way that alleviates all that. Oh, do I rip out this page? Do I glue this page? Oh, now I've mucked it up because I haven't kept a page here and all the rest. And it can get very confusing, especially if you're just starting. So what we're going to do, what you'll need first, so today's lesson really is about finding your book, preparing your book, and then gathering your supplies that you're going to need to make your altered book. Now, this one that we're going to be doing today, or over this, I don't know how long it's going to take. So at this stage, tutorials or lessons will be coming out on Thursdays and Sundays. It may just go for a couple of weeks, depending on how organised we are. It may stretch a little bit longer. I will, in the middle of all that time, I know I've got a couple of unboxings to do in amongst things, and there may be a few other things that come up in between those times. But Thursdays and Sundays will be our altered book with the difference. What you need for this one is the books that... I don't think I've got any normal ones here. Hang on a moment. And I got myself so organised, and then I wasn't. Let's have a look. What do you? Right. Most times we tear out our pages so you can see that pages are just attached and you tear them out. What we need are the books where the pages have been sewn in. So they've already got signatures. Now, there are some Reader's Digests like this, and not all of these pretty covered ones. I think I've got 20 of these, and as in the Reader's Digest with the beautiful covers, and I think 3 of them were sewn in signatures inside it. So just have a look. But in saying that, you will also find just normal books. So I've just gone through a pile of my older books. Now, these are ones that I've picked up from op shops or book fairs and all the rest. Most of them tend to range between the 50s and the 70s, I've found, if I'm going to be looking for signatures. So this is just a normal book. But what we're looking for is, if you see down there, have I got that right in front? Yep. So you'll see in here that it's got signatures, and a signature is a group of pages folded together and then sewn in. So if you look down here, we'll go to a centre so you can see. Let's grab my tweezers. Let's grab my tweezers. So you'll see that it starts here and there's a curl there. Can you see that? I am right in shot, aren't I? Yes. So the centre of that, which is about there, should be, yep, hang on, one more page. There it is. That's the centre of our signature, and you'll see that it's got thread in there. This is what, so when I'm gutting a book, this is what I'll do. I'll pull out these threads, undo these threads, etc., and take all the pages out, and you are left with, da-da-da-da, something like this. Oh, we're upside down. It's not really going to matter, is it? So you'll end up with a front, and then you'll end up with pages where they've been taken out. So this would have been your centre of your signature, the outside edges of your signature. And then we're back onto the next signature. And then we've got the centre of our signature again. Okay, so what I've got now, so can you see the difference between that? Exactly the same book, all right? Thought I'd show you exactly the same book. So here's this one with the centres of those signatures taken out. And here's a full one before anything has been touched. So can you see the amount of room you've now got in here? So this method requires no gluing. So I don't want to glue my pages together. So I'm not going to get my pages now and glue them together, because I don't want, you invariably never get right up into there. You can by all means, because you've now got that, and then what you would do would be to glue those ones, but you're going to end up with a very small paged book. So if I look at that, and depending on the size of your book will depend how many pages you get. So those two would be joined, so that's 1. And, oh no, it's a separate one. So we'll count that as 2. Those 2 would be, no. Hang on. There we go. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm taking 2 pages at a time. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, missed one. That'll be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's more in here than I thought there was. 16. That's an odd one. I don't reckon that joins to that one. What do we get to? 17. He's an odd one. So 18. 19. 20. There's an odd one again. 21. And 1 and 2. 22. 23. 24. Odd one again. 25. 26 and an odd one, 27. It'll give us 27 pages if we join them together. So this is exactly the same book as I said it was before, and we've started with we've ended up 502 pages and some bits. So we've brought it back to 27 pages if you join them together. What I want to do is leave these. There might be a couple I'll glue together, but for the most part, what it's going to do is give me extra room. My journals all end up very gator mouth. I like my, if you've been watching me, I like my flips, I like my folds, I like my envelopes and pockets full of things and all the rest. Doing it this way allows you all that room. So you can see with the original altered book, and I haven't got that far into it. There we go. Still got all that to go. And I'm already sitting out like that. So some of these, yes, have got their journal cards and things in them. Some of them haven't yet. I quite often go back at the end and put those sorts of things in. So it's going to be chunkier when I actually finish it. So, again, going to our older books. This is a beautiful colour. But as you can see, and you see now what we're talking about. See the rounds? That'll give you the hint that they are going to have a stitched piece in it. There it is. So you can see that stitching in there. Okay, so what we're going to do, set that one aside, and with this one, we're going to start doing them. And I've lost it already. How could I lose it already? Did I put it back? I use a quick unpick for doing this, and I had it out before where I was looking at another book. And I put it somewhere safe, and then I went and cooked tea. Yep. All right, so in the drawer, we'll go back to the drawer that it's meant to be in. And no, it's not. Of course it's not. What you'll need is a quick unpick, which I reckon I've knocked to the other side. Just bear with me in case I've lost it on the ground. How can I lose that? It's white. Can anybody see it? You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. It's not here. Pens, bits, just, I didn't put it in the bin. The bin does have a lolly wrapper in it, but my quick unpick is not there. I want to do this with a quick unpick to show you a very easy way. And I cleaned my desk, and I should never clean my desk. How can I lose it? Right, so we're going to do this with a quick unpick, and I'm going to find a quick unpick. It's sitting here somewhere, and I know I'm looking at it. Can anybody see it? Holla, where is it? There is nothing sitting here. Hasn't fallen around the sides. Right, so we're just going to use our blade to start with. I will find it while we're working, and I'll show you an even easier way. I'll show you a hard way with the blade, and then I'll show you an easy way with the quick unpick. Right, going back to our book. Start going until you can actually see where your first sewn signature is. Now, the book that we're going to gut will give us lots of pages as well. Let's go up that way. Where are we? There it is. So there's our first one. You can see that they're right in there. And this is why I like a quick unpick that I've got from my sewing days. If you don't have a quick unpick and you think you're not going to cut your fingers off, try your blade. Just popping it under. Because the last thing you want to do is slice your book pages. Okay, so there's one. If your blade is sharp, you'll be fine. One, they've usually got 3 to 5 sewn edges in there. Some of them are easier to come out than others. Oh, this is ridiculous, Kylie. What did you do with it? I reckon I've picked it up and taken it with me while I was cooking tea. Has been known to happen. I very usually lose my glasses because I've had them on my head and then gone to cook tea and found that I've left them in there, and then I'm running around looking for my glasses. It is a lot easier with the quick unpick. Oh, I can't believe I've lost that. This is ridiculous. I am sorry. I think I just pulled the whole tripod with me. I reckon I've knocked it on the ground. Nope. Nope. There will be a slight delay. I'll be back in just a second. This is what we're after. A quick unpick, okay? So we use them for sewing, for when we're doing buttonholes and all the rest. Undoing it. And guess what? I've walked around the house, gave in, sat down and realised it was sitting just over there underneath my little tablet. So, yeah, it was here the whole time. All right, so as we were, I may even cut and I can't because I talked about it too much. Right, so you can see it's a lot easier with the quick unpick. So because they're usually slightly curved on one end, you can just pick them up. You can, truly. When you're not on film, you can just pick them up and take them straight out. I think I've got both of them there. Yep, let's have a look. And then these will just, there it is still there. There it is. All right, and then these will just come straight out. So you'll just take 2 pages at a time and gently pull them out. The only other thing you will need, right, so that's where this one will start. You might have another one in there. There it is. Yep. Look at that. Look how much easier it is with that. Doesn't that just make life so much easier? Now, as I was saying a minute ago, the only other thing you're going to need is a sharp pair of scissors. Well, when I say sharp, what I mean is sharp tipped, so that the tip of them has got a really sharp point, because we're going to trim these back off. So let's see if that one's meant to come out. It is just trial and error. All right, so they should just come out if they need to. All right, so that one's staying there. That one's that. Now we'll go to our next signature. Lift him up. Should be about there. Okay, or was I at it? Let's have a look. Oh, there it is. I quite often, and this is how I gut all my books, especially, I'm going to say documentaries. Not documentaries, what do you call them? They're not documentaries, what are they? Non-fiction books, you know, so my bird books, things like that. will, there he is. Most of those you'll find are sewn in like this. So they actually have signatures. So that's what you want to do. And I will quite often sit in front of the TV and just get my books like this. And I'll just sit there. I'll sit with my quick unpick and I can unpick them all. And then I can just sit there and systematically pull them apart. Right, so I've got that one. I've got that one. Some of these at the front don't have many in their signatures. And then we'll go over again. You really want a book that's got, you know, a good 20 or so per signature, because it just makes life so much easier. So what we're looking for is the next bit of sewing. One. Right. So I want, as I said before, to do this book with all my flips, all my flaps and envelopes and all the rest. So you're going to need very little in the way of supplies. I've got a pile of supplies here. I don't think you're due to come out, are you? Yes, you are. I've got a pile of supplies here that we will go through shortly through our first one. And most of mine, yes, I have a few digitals and I have a few old pieces of scrapbook paper that I want to use up. But everything else is stuff you'll find around your home. I like using all those as my bases. So I've got paper bags, I've got envelopes, I've got packing paper. I've got some coffee dyed, got too many sheets there. I've got some coffee dyed paper as well. So it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to create a beautiful journal. And as I said before, this is such a brilliant way as a beginner journal just to get your hand in and your eye in and give you that confidence to just keep going on with them. As I said before, I keep saying that, don't I? As I mentioned prior, how's that? Altered Books was how I started. I watched a YouTube video many years ago with Gail Augustinelli, and she did an altered book, and I thought, yep, because before I'd been toying around with the idea of how to make a journal. Oh, do I have it right? What do I need to do? What should I? Really, there are no rules with journals, no rules whatsoever. And I think watching her altered book tutorial gave me the confidence, because I put her on. I was sitting in the lounge room. Our kitchen, dining, living room is all together in our house, and she started, and I thought, I can do that. So I raced over, put her on pause, raced over, grabbed a book, and just started ripping. It is such an awesome way to start, to just build your confidence, because then you start to realise that there is no rhyme nor reason. You don't have to do things the right way. There is no right way. If you like it, it's the right way. And that's why jumping into the world of journaling to start with can be so daunting, I suppose, because a lot of us all belong to these groups. And there's so many groups out there. You belong to a group and you see all these wonderful works being done, and you think, oh, no, it's just too daunting. It's too mind-boggling. You see some of these beautiful journals and you go, I can never do that. Well, yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Just start small. Just work your way up to it. Don't go into it thinking, I have to have this, I have to have that, I have to have all these tools, all these supplies, because really, you'll never start that way. you'll be broke and you'll never start. There are so many ways to get through the journaling world without spending so much money. Truly. I'm going to tear that first one out and then I can get to those signatures. It's like most crafts we take up, or most hobbies. To start with, they cost us an arm and a leg. Look, and I'm speaking from experience. I used to have a paper craft store, and you'd have people come in and they go, I'm thinking of getting into this. What do I need? I've seen people use this, so I need a trimmer, I need a knife, I need a ruler, I need $500 worth of paper, I need... No, you don't. And, you know, you can get away with the basics in most crafts. You need to just dip your toe in the water. It might be something you will never take up again. You might have a shot at it and go, you know, it's not for me. So why spend so much money? See, I'm rambling now, aren't I? Sorry. But really, it scares me when people say, oh, I can't get into it yet because I still haven't got all the supplies. Really, you don't need that many supplies. A few choice purchases. Quick unpick for this. Some scissors. Now, they can be your cheapy scissors from a cheap shop. They can be expensive scissors if you want to go down that way, but you don't really need to. My main scissors that I use are from a supermarket, which are my big ones. They cut all my lace and all of that, and my paper. I don't have other ones. And then I have a couple these days of my choice little scissors. So I have my little cutter bee ones, which are my little ones for when I'm fussy cutting and cutting double-sided tape because they get all gunky. And my newest scissors are my ones from Uniquely Creative because I've always liked the Tim Holtz scissors, but I wasn't going to pay that much for them. It's just me. Uniquely Creative put out these ones at the start of the year or Christmas time or whatever else, and they're giving me my very fine tip, and they're sharp and they sit in my hand nicely. So, yes, I have 3 pairs of scissors over time, not straight away. You can get away with 1 pair of scissors, or just look at what your purchases are going to be. I have been crafting since mid-90s, I suppose. Yes, not mid-90s. So my supplies have built up since then. And yes, we all have so many supplies. And yes, it's so nice to go out and purchase something else. You know, it's so nice to have a new whatever. But I save up for those. And I've got to admit, it's why I like digitals these days, because digitals don't cost me that much. And truly, I don't spend that much in ink. My inks are still lasting me a year because I only print what I actually require. And as I require it. So I will print a few out from a kit if they're the ones that I'm going to use, and then I won't print any of the others out. I've missed one there, that one. I won't print any of the others out until I actually need them. So I don't have all these digitals sitting around waiting to be used. Now, what else have I got there? I've got that one. See, this is called talking and not doing. And that's that one, which was where I was. Okay, back to the next one. So I thought, while I'm prepping this, now you can prep yours as well while we're going, but I just thought I'd talk to you all about all our supplies. So really, this journal, start to finish, is not going to cost that much. Yes, it's going to cost you time. And if you're selling your journals, the time that you put in there is not going to, you're not going to get back. You're doing this for the love of it, okay? You're not doing this to make oodles and oodles of money. Well, you might if you're, very well known and people are clambering for one of your journals. But to start with, it's not going to happen. And I think we're all kidding ourselves when we go, oh, I can make a journal and I can put it out for so many hundred and I can make all this money and finally pay back some of the supplies that I've purchased. Nah, it's just, yeah. You've just got to be sensible about it. Really, truly, you've got to be sensible about it. And I think a lot of our supplies, and I know I get a lot from op shops and book fairs and stuff like that. For me, it's the thrill of the hunt. Done. So, where are we going? About there. Oh, look at that. See, the more you take out, the easier it gets. So, I hope you're going to join me in this journey as we create an altered book with a difference. What I plan to do is I'm doing the 2 books together and go that way, Kylie, while I'm talking. I plan to do the 2 books together. So what I'll do is I will have the next lesson as such in one of the books done, and then we will go through it into the next book for that lesson. Does that make sense? I'd like to say that I've already got next lesson done, but as I was at work today, when I thought I want to get stuck in, because that Reader's Digest, that other one I showed you that was already gutted, was one I'd done last week or whenever. So it had been done for a while and sitting there waiting for me, and I was almost at the point where I needed to do a new journal. And I thought, oh, can't wait to get home. I think I want to get onto that Reader's Digest one, and I want to make it with flips, and I want to do that because that's what it's now decided it's going to be while I was at work. But by the time I'd got home, I decided that I wanted to take you guys along on this journey as well to prove just how easy it is to create one of these. Okay? So from after today, we'll have another one that comes out on Sunday, and I will show you what we're going to make. I'll have it done and then we'll make it. But from there on in, I will show you the episode before what it is that we're going to make in the following episode. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope you like that idea, and I hope you get that idea. And I hope you'll join me, as I will have 2 at the end, 2 exactly the same. I'm still debating. I don't normally do giveaways because it's just technology and all that scares the daylights out of me, and sending around the world sends the daylights out of me, but we'll see how we go. And I might even give one away at the end because I'll have 2 the same. So one will go to market where all my journals go, and the other one we might even give away. So leave it with me. I'll see how we go, and we'll go from there. I'm not going to ask people to subscribe to get a giveaway. I'm not that much into all of that. I'm just happy for those of you that have subscribed and are with me anyway. And I'm just absolutely do you know that I'm nearly at, speaking of subscriptions, I'm nearly at 3,500. Mate, I got so excited when I got 10 subscribers because I really didn't think anybody would be, wanting to hear from me. Admittedly, yes, I've been teaching since the early 2000s. And see, I can't do this while I talk, obviously. And I knew people had been coming to my classes for many years, but I didn't think in the big wide world of crafting that I would get people that subscribe to me from all around the world. So while I'm at it, I just want to say thank you so much, guys. I'm just so humbled, I suppose would be the best word for it. I am so humbled. You've no idea what it means to me. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And, right, so you get the gist of this, don't you? Really? Do you really want to sit there and see me do that while I ramble? And I'm rambling. Next time I'll have all them pulled out. Go later on, and I'm going to sit on the couch and just chill a little bit before I have to go to bed and go back to work tomorrow. But what I want to show you, so you can see how that's coming along, okay? Mind you, if we'd done this one, we would have well and truly been done by now. So, you know, it is a big book. All right, so you can see, here's all my bits that have come out so far. You can see where they're folded, where they've just all been pulled out, not ripped or anything else. That's the other thing. When you rip them out, you run that risk of part of it not ripping out completely right at the spine section, and then you get bits that hang out and drives me dippy. All right, so what we're going to need for this journal. And as I said, I have started. I've got myself a box, and I've got myself some offcuts of manila folder, and I have got paper bags. This will be added to as I go along, and usually for me, I don't usually think of a theme. I never think of a theme before I want to start a journal. Usually partway through a journal, said book will start talking to me and tell me what it wants to be. Maybe that's just my mind. I don't know. Well, it does. And it just goes off in its own tangent and just becomes, I suppose would be the best thing. So none of my journals are themed or anything else. Yeah, they might have butterflies, flowers, bees, that sort of thing, but they're not really themed. So this won't be either. Yours can be, by all means. Don't get me wrong, I loved themed journals. But for me, I think I will start, and then my mind, it's my mind, not the book. My mind will go off into a tangent and I go, oh, I want some of that. Oh, I want some of that. So it's however you work, what makes you comfortable. Okay, so they don't have to have themes, but they can. And if you want to do yours just from, say, a digital kit, which is themed and all the rest, beautiful. You've got it all sitting there for you, and by all means, do that. It is up to you. Right, so paper bags. Now, I have literally just cut my manila folders in half so that they are still folded, so that if we've done one that's not ready to go into a pocket, into a page yet, I can actually tuck that piece in there as I'm going. So I have pulled out a selection of paper bags. So I've got coffee dyed ones, patterned ones, plain ones, and, you know, your little food cutlery ones when you go to a restaurant. Got all the boys at work collecting these when they're on the road for me. So, works a treat. So they are, and there'll be more paper bags added to that. But I just wanted to show you a few of the paper bags. My next heading is envelopes. I love envelopes. You know I love my envelopes. So this one has quite a few in it, and there will probably be more attached. So I've got normal craft ones. I've got little glacini type ones, vellum ones. I've got long business size ones. I've got ones that came from stores that I want to use as flips themselves. I've got long ones, coloured ones, square ones, different size ones again, more in the different size, and then just different sized envelopes. More coffee dyed, just good old plain supermarket envelopes. Okay, I love envelopes. I think you can do so much with envelopes. So that's why I've got a selection. And there may be different ones come in as well. Right, so envelopes. My next heading at this stage is book pages. believe you me, if you start to gut a few books, you'll have some book pages. So, and I know that this has got pages in it already, but I want to decorate with book pages as well. So in my book pages, I'll pull out a few of these. And most of these I've pulled out of my scrap bin, as in my larger ones. So I've got, you can see where I've pulled the signatures out. I've got pieces of dictionary, pieces of magazines, old books, stamp catalogues, numbers, music sheets, that sort of thing. Okay, so some of those are from ones that I've purchased, ones that I've gutted, ones that I've bought at book fairs just for doing this. But you can find normal dictionaries, the kids' dictionaries, the big ones that they use in primary school and all the rest, and they're not using anymore. Rip out the pages and coffee dye them. Oh, they look a treat. In saying that, though, that is because they're the colours that I like. If you like all your whites, stick to your whites, okay? My next one is some digitals that I had floating around. So I've got these ones that I printed out from Graphic Fairy the other week. So, okay, so I've got these ones. I've got odd ones sitting here that I had that I've printed out. I think most of these are from Graphic Fairy that were still sitting on my desk. So they will be used. The other digitals I've got, because I'm going to try not to stamp in this, because a lot of people don't stamp. You might not have any stamps, have access to stamps. So I want to try and use papers and things like that. If you don't, there might be a few stamps that creep in. But the other digitals I've got here, if I can reach over, are my WhichCraft Do You Do ones. So the other week I did one for my design team project. Now I have, and I'll show you what I mean by I don't print them all out until I need them. So this is my folder with my WhichCraft Do You Do kits. So this was the Mix and Match mini journal kit. It has 28 pages, but at this stage I've printed out page 1. I've got page 10 there, page 13, 14, 16, 17. So I just tend to print out the ones that I want to start with. And I love this page. This is just awesome. Oh no, look, there's my butterflies from that one as well. They have another one that I've got, which is paper bags and tags. Again, this is what I'd like to go in this book. So lots of pockets, lots of flips and all the rest. Can't remember how many pages are in this one. But I've only got a few pages at this stage printed out. Things that are in my colour combinations that I really want to use. So we'll put these together during the lessons and I'll show you how they go together. But there's so many in this set. And some of them I've printed really large. You can just see that one behind it. Some of them I've printed smaller. So this is from that. The next one I've got is Bits and Pieces. Now, I love this set. You can see here all the different... And this will give me all my ephemera and everything to go onto it. So this one, Australian, was $2.95. $2.95. So I've got all my whale tail punches there. I've got all these beautiful words and numbers and all these things to add to our pockets and our pages and our flips. You've got all of them here in smaller version, lots more. You've got advertising, more advertising, and there is so much more to this kit that I've only printed out a few pages. Again, words, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get 10 pages of words, different colours. I've printed out two, that one and that one, just the slightly different tonings because they're my colours. And then there's the pages pack, which gives me all of my pages. So, and that's these ones. And I've got these all printed out because I will utilise these lots. So that's what I mean by working out what you want to do, not having to spend so much money, and coming out the other end with a completed journal. That's what this journey is all about. Oh, one more thing in my little box of goodies. My last two. I have one that is craft or coffee dyed. So I've got sheets of coffee dyed paper in there. I have sheets of brown paper packaging tied up with string because we just have these lying around. Bags that we get from the supermarkets or from stores or anything else. I've got those. If we undo these, you've got extra things as well, so I'll show you that. And I've just cut the side panel, but I've left this if I want to make this a flip. So I've got 3 of those sitting in there. My coffee dyed paper, and my last one will be scrapbooking paper. So patterned paper that I've got floating around that is in scrapbooking wise. I've got a few plain sheets there at the moment. I may use them, I may not use them. But that is my box that will sit on the table with me with this journal in it so that I can just pick it up and go. I hope I haven't rambled too much. I hope you're going to hang around for this journey. I know we haven't done a lot today, but it was mainly the prep, showing you what you need so that if you want to journal with me during this series, you know what we're up against. This is, it will be Thursday when this goes out. So this is Thursday. The next one where I'll have all of those pulled out and we'll actually start working on doing our pages will be on Sunday, so 3 days' time. And I'd love to see you come along and actually journal with me. So thanks for that, guys. I hope you hang around. Thank you. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.